Billy Adams was the hardest man I ever met. The sort of bloke who'd shove an arm in a fire and keep it there just to prove a point. Not his own arm, of course, someone else's.
Ray Bishop, former violent criminal and long-time associate of Billy Pavingstone Adams, and more recently, author of a highly successful account of his experiences entitled, If He Smiles, Nut Him.
We call him Pavingstone because he used to go around with a paving stone and break people's legs with it. It's a term of affection, you know. I think it surprised a lot of people when they'd heard he'd started grassing.
For 5 years, Billy Pavingstone Adams was assumed by Scotland Yard to be one of its top informants, a supergrass. Facts we've uncovered suggest that Scotland Yard may have assumed wrongly. Tonight we look at the police's safeguards for dealing with supergrasses like Adams and ask the question, shouldn't they have some? This photograph was taken on Saturday, April the 20th, 1985, at what was generally regarded at the time as the London criminal underworld's wedding of the year. This man is a convicted armed robber, and so is the man standing next to him. So too is the bridegroom, and this man. This man, however, is Detective Chief Inspector David Grevin. Why was he there?
It is absolutely essential that police detectives strive to maintain close contacts with people who are connected with the criminal community.
Even if it means going to their weddings?
Especially if it means going to their weddings. Often the best man's speech alone can be a very valuable source of information concerning the bridegroom and his associates.
Over the years, DCI Grevin's most valuable source of information has been this man, Supergrass Billy Pavingstone Adams. But a recent review of a number of cases these two men have worked on together has raised the questions of just how valuable Adams' information has been, and to whom. One such case involves the theft of this black stallion from a racing stables in Newmarket. Adams' tip-off led to the arrest of this man, Brian Neatness Geddo. Though the racehorse was never found, 2 pieces of evidence discovered at his home in Essex were sufficient to secure his conviction. Large quantities of a substance which was later forensically determined to be horse manure were found piled in Geddo's private squash court, and an ice cube tray containing frozen horse semen was discovered in Geddo's fridge freezer.
No, I'm not convinced, no. I mean, Neatness's missus, she's a dragon lady, very house-proud. I mean, if she'd have thought Neatness had stuck a tray full of horse spunk in her freezer, she'd have killed him.
2 months after Geddo's trial, Billy Pavingstone Adams sold this white stallion to an anonymous foreign buyer. Adams claimed he had been given the horse in settlement of a debt, but people who know Adams are inclined to offer an alternative explanation.
It's a respray job, wasn't it?
Could Ray Bishop be right? Could this horse, in fact, be this horse with white paint on it? People who were working with Chief Inspector David Grevin at the time, people like former Detective Sergeant Barry Dickerson, were unhappy about the relationship that seemed to exist between Grevin and Billy Pavingstone Adams.
Well, Adams was supposed to be Grevin's informant, but they behaved much more like very close friends. There was a sort of conspiratorial atmosphere between them, as if they were sharing a joke at everybody else's expense, do you know what I mean?
Could you give me an example?
Well, yeah. If you were ever in a pub with them, and you came back with the drinks, one of them would always point to the whiskey and say, I hope you're sure that's ice in there. And then they'd just explode, you know. And once, when they were both very drunk, I heard Grevin ask Adams what was the most he'd ever put on a horse. And Adams said, half a can of Dulux. They were helpless for hours after that.
Did you ask Adams to explain what he'd meant?
Well, yeah, he said it was Cockney rhyming slang for £18, but I looked it up in a dictionary we've got at the station and it wasn't in there.
Another case Grevin and Adams were involved with concerned the investigation into the armed attack on this security van while it was on its way back from Heathrow Airport. Raiders had made off with over £80,000 in foreign currency. But within 48 hours, this man, Greasy Jerry Callahan, was in police custody. Once again, acting on Adams' information, Grevin had mounted a carefully planned police operation, codenamed Operation Arrest, and swooped on Callahan's Surrey home. A search of it revealed these 4 suitcases packed full of Italian lira, worth slightly in excess of £57.
Oh, Greasy was livid. I mean, he's a professional criminal. He'd have never nicked lira.
So you're saying you think he was framed?
Oh, yeah, the old bill fitted him up. Of course they did. I mean, as a professional criminal, you've got to expect that from time to time. But what you don't expect is to be fitted up with something that's going to make you look the laughing stock of a nick. I mean, even the fare dodgers were taking a piss.
Apart from the lira, the rest of the haul from the robbery, an assortment of Spanish pesetas, French francs and Portuguese escudos, was never recovered. But 2 days after Callahan was convicted, DCI Grevin went on a touring holiday of Spain, Portugal and France with his informant, Billy Pavingstone Adams. Neither of them took any traveller's checks.
Detective Chief Inspector Grevin is a fine officer who has established a reputation for himself as a highly successful thief-taker.
Yes, the problem is he seems to take them on holiday, though, doesn't he? Aren't the police at all worried about the close friendship that's developed between DCI Grevin and the informant, Billy Adams?
No, I think it's perfectly natural that people should meet and make friends in the course of their work.
Well, the way these two met was that one of them arrested the other.
Well, few people hit it off immediately, do they? Overcoming initial difficulties like that is often what helps to make a friendship even stronger.
Though his superiors have repeatedly resisted calls for DCI Grevin's suspension pending an inquiry, they have, we understand, insisted he take sick leave while they undertake an informal review of his entire police career. Whatever DCI Grevin is supposed to be recovering from, he's not doing it in the considerable luxury of his large Surrey home. The man who opened his front door, and who described himself as Grevin's butler, told us that Grevin was not available to talk to us. While this article in a recent police magazine suggests that he is currently in Switzerland, taking part in an international police boxing tournament. Wherever he is, he continues to enjoy the support, in public at least, of senior colleagues at Scotland Yard. Are you aware that DCI Grevin has a butler?
Provided a person works hard enough, there's no reason why he shouldn't pamper himself occasionally.
Well, I think in DCI Grevin's case, it appears to me more than just occasionally, though, doesn't it? Apart from the butler, he's got 3 cars and a quarter share in a racing stable.
He's obviously worked very hard. Too hard, in fact. Which is why he's now having to take an enforced period of relaxation on sick leave.
Well, he appears to be spending this period of relaxation fighting a German for the European Police middleweight boxing title.
As long as he's resting, I don't mind how he does it.
Grevin's friendship with Adams is all the more remarkable when one considers that for many years, Billy Pavingstone Adams had been one of the most sadistically violent criminals of his generation.
First time I met Pavingstone, I sussed there was something highly dangerous about him. Something vicious, cruel, and very, very nasty.
Why then did you continue to associate with him?
I like people like that.
Well, I think Pavingstone had 2 sides to him, really. On the one side, there was the hard-nosed, violent armed robber. And on the other side, there was the quiet, friendly, cheerful, self-effacing con artist.
And I gather some people claimed he was quite sentimental.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, especially about his childhood. I mean, the paving stone he broke people's legs with. He went to the trouble of digging it up from the street he was born in, you know. Yeah, because a lot of people never saw that side of him. They just saw this wild animal, this maniac, this brutal psychopath.
Why do you think that was?
Shyness, possibly, I don't know. I asked him once why he used violence to deal with every possible kind of situation.
And what did he say?
Oh, he didn't say nothing. He just nutted me.
Beckenham High Street, southeast London. It was here, at least according to the police, that the criminal career of Billy Pavingstone Adams came to an end, as a direct result of the meticulously planned police operation codenamed Operation Wages Job. At 12 minutes past 11 on Friday the 17th of December 1982, police officers, under the command of the then Inspector Grevin, sprang out from their hiding places in parked cars and shop doorways and ambushed Adams and his gang as they attempted to rob a security van. Ray Bishop was a member of that gang, arrested along with Adams.
We rammed the security van with a Volvo, and all hell broke loose. There was filth everywhere. It got us, really. Pavingstone tried to brazen out by pretending we'd been in a traffic accident. He tried to refuse to be arrested until he got the security van driver's insurance details. But the sawn-off shotguns gave us away a bit. The masks, bottles of ammonia. Pavingstone tried to kid on they was there because he suffered terrible with his sinuses. But even the plot didn't fall for that one.